squeaky.
We're not gonna get through this. I'm gonna have to go.
Okay,
Yeah,
we're starting right now.
We're recording right now?
Wait, no
Yes.
stopping anymore. We have to let's
Welcome,
do it.
welcome to the Blazes. Welcome to the Blazes.
Blade.
The blade list. Welcome to the blade list.
The Blazes.
Our anti-knife policy.
It's a podcast, and it's a TCS.
It's a podcast.
It is a
sure
podcast.
is. It sure
I'm
is.
here with Nelli Anderson and Ian Hill and Tiger Neyland. And
who are you?
I'm Harrison West.
Oh,
Hello.
yeah.
It's good to meet you. So we're going to start by talking about our vision for the podcast and what that's going to look like. I think most of the episodes, it's safe to say, half or most will be about music because that's what we like to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of Pascal's thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is a big one.
But it's not like, this is part of the vision, I think. It's not like, this is the Pascal podcast.
No, this is a TCS podcast that we want to. That Pascal's gonna be backed by Pascal, but we want and encourage everyone in the high school to participate and give their input and come on as guests and help host and submit their favorite music, and if we have singer-songwriters, any artists in the student population, that would be great if they participated as well. We could showcase their art.
Like we'll be playing all of Tiger's album that's
yeah.
coming out.
Oh, it's
on
definitely
December
going to be
24th.
The Eve?
The Eve.
Okay, no, she's lying. Okay.
It's coming out on the Eve, so be looking out for that.
On the eve.
It's the best.
On the Eve. Yeah.
Number one.
Anyway, the vision.
Grammy nominated.
Besides the vision of, like, anyone and everyone.
100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Of music.
The vision of music, yeah. I mean, there's different things we can talk about. I mean, we'll talk about songwriters, like Ian's saying. We can talk about, like, more philosophical things about, we had a whole conversation at one point about how do you define Christian music? People say Christian music all the time, but what does that even mean, Or just talking about genres.
Yeah.
The 50s. What even happened in the 50s in music?
Your favorite stuff?
All the favorite stuff.
Your favorite stuff. People value favorite stuff.
Frank Sinatra.
He's not my favorite.
I'm just saying, like...
Yeah, but, yeah.
Classic.
Anything.
Anyway.
Doesn't matter.
Anything.
And even outside the realm of music, too, one of the things that JJ said at one point, I'm going to probably botch this quote, but it's basically, we try to talk about something and try to come to some kind of understanding in the end. So that's a pretty broad topic, but I think we can work with it if we want to go outside the realm of music for some episodes.
JJ, for anybody who doesn't know, new, and stuff, that's Jeremiah Anderson. Yeah, that is the dude. He's cool. He's doing stuff.
He's our sound guy.
Yeah, he's sound guy.
For the entire school, basically.
Basically. Yeah. Him and Chris Hall, like, really carrying. But I think also, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, but as far as, like, what this episode is, we're just going to talk about what this is, who we are.
Get to know your hosts.
Get to know your hosts.
Narcissistic.
We just do that now?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. We got 3 questions. What is your musical background? What is your favorite song right now? And if there was anyone in the music industry you could sit down and talk to for an hour, who would it be? Let's start with Nelli Anderson.
I feel so professional when you say my full name. Nelli Anderson.
Let's start with Antonella Reese Anderson.
Oh, wow. Now I'm in trouble. Okay, musical background. So am I answering all 3 questions at the same time?
Yeah. Let's just go do that.
Musical background, I play guitar and I sing. And I can kind of play some other instruments but not well enough to say that I actually play them. I have led worship pretty much since I was in, like, 6th grade for youth group, and then increasingly in main service and other things. Been a part of a lot of bands. Obviously, none of them successful in the monetary area or any other area except we had good times. And I collect vinyl, so I know that's such a white girl thing to say. It's
I
okay.
don't know. I want to do it.
I've resigned to it.
White boys do that
I'll
too.
I mean,
Who
sure,
cares?
yeah. Anyway, I love to collect vinyl. And
Next question, what is your song right now?
favorite song right now. My favorite song right now is a cover. I don't listen to a lot of covers, but my favorite song right now is a cover by Phoebe Bridgers.
It's a lie. You listen to so many covers.
Of what? How do you know? Are you stalking me on Spotify, Tiger?
I'm not. I've seen way too many covers. Sorry. Yeah. Quietness.
Yeah, that was way too loud.
I've seen way
in
too
your
many
ears.
Anyway.
covers. Yeah.
Okay, favorite song.
I'm like kind of offended. No, just kidding. My favorite song is a cover by Phoebe Bridgers of Friday I'm in Love, which is by The Cure. So yeah, what's the next question?
If there was anyone in the music industry you could sit down and talk to for an hour, who would it be?
It would be Willie Nelson.
Nice.
Yeah.
I like that.
That dude's nice.
I feel like that should be a topic of one of our episodes is I think we should have one person who adamantly loves country music and someone who adamantly hates country music. Just duke it out.
Okay,
It's
sorry
so
though.
easy.
So, when you're talking to Willie Nelson, is he stoned or is he
Yeah.
sober?
Well,
I
what's going on
I
there?
think I get like an hour, right?
Yeah,
you
no.
get an
So
hour.
I think like 30 minutes, like normal Willie Nelson, and then
Wait,
he can
but
go
what-
take a
what
smoke
is-
break and come back. And
What is
then
normal Willie Nelson?
So
that's what I have to find out.
What is the purpose of like why did you choose Willie?
First of all, he's like one of the most prolific songwriters ever. I mean, he just
true.
writes and writes and writes.
Got a lot of longevity going on there.
Yeah, and I love his style. I love his voice. I love the way he writes. I think he's very poetic, and I think he sees the world in a way that I want to see the world, which sounds very abstract. But and I mean, he's played everywhere. He's done everything. He's met like the kind of people he's met. He is the music industry kind of.
The
you know?
commercials he's been in.
The commercials. Yeah. So I know he's not like an amazing person. It's kind of hard to find a super famous musician who is, but the experiences he's had is just, yeah.
Are we including what kind of music you listen to under what is your musical background? Was that the intent?
I mean,
I really don't know how to describe.
I think
my
it's
roots,
hard.
so,
I think it's hard
yeah,
to
it's really
answer
hard.
that
All
question.
right. Well, we can move on to Ian.
Yeah, so my musical background, I don't feel like, I mean, I played in the chamber orchestra in like middle school. I played the cello and the double bass.
Nice.
Not played that in a long time. Tried to teach myself the banjo. That also did not work. Let's just put that there. Gave it back. I was done with that. But yeah, no, I listen to a lot of music. I don't know if that counts. I also collect vinyl.
So you're kind of like a connoisseur, like.
I mean, anything
Well,
he does, he's kind of a
That's
connoisseur.
true.
Like
Very
anything,
connoisseur
anything,
personality.
any of your interests, you know
Yeah.
anything there is to know about it.
I'd
Pretty
like to-
much,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'd like to think so. Anyway, so question number 2. What is my favorite song right now? I think my favorite song right now would have to be Moving Out by Billy Joel.
Ooh.
I've been listening to that for a couple days and really like that. I'll probably change tomorrow. We'll see.
I've never heard that song. Is it at all related to the fact that you're going to college soon?
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
It's not.
What is it about?
Moving out.
Yeah, I don't know. You just have to listen to it.
Yeah.
And I
You
encourage
just
you guys
can't
to go
understand
listen
it
to
until
it.
you
Moving
kinda
Out,
really-
Billy Joel, The Stranger. It's the album.
Billy Joel definitely needs a lot of support, a lot of
It's rough right now.
all the advertising he can get, really.
Struggling. He's struggling, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Starving artist, that guy.
First episode of the podcast, Billy Joel. Okay, and last question. If there was anyone in the music industry that I could sit down and talk to for an hour, I didn't have a lot of time to think about this, but I think I would say David Bowie.
Ooh, interesting one.
I feel like there's a lot that you could talk about. And
There's
We'd have to
a
take
there's
a
a
trip to see that
documentary
guy.
coming out about him.
Really?
I think there is, yeah. Pretty sure.
I mean, you'd have
Someone
to die, though,
Harrison,
right?
can you fact check that?
The documentary about David Bowie.
Yeah.
He's dead.
So I definitely think that
What?
in a future,
He's dead, right?
Yeah, he's,
Dead. Yeah, so
he is
yes,
dead.
you want to die?
David Bowie
his wife
is in
is-
fact dead.
His wife is still alive, though, I'm pretty sure.
Type on this keyboard.
That I don't know. Okay, but I definitely think that's a good topic for a future podcast. Is we could go into depth with a couple questions that we might ask our
Yeah.
famous person.
Yeah.
We'll see though.
David Bowie finding fame? 2019. That would not be coming out.
Maybe it already came out.
Maybe it came out.
The last
We're gonna
5
look into
years,
that.
I have no idea.
All right.
Okay.
all right.
Anyway, moving on to Tiger.
Me.
So, question 1: what is your
Ours is-
musical background?
My musical background. It's rich. It's got a lot going
Really?
on. I don't know, sort of. I started my first interest into music was drums. I started taking drums at 8, and okay.
Having too much fun with the microphones.
Okay.
Maybe.
I took it for 2 years, I think. I stopped for a year, and I took it for another 2 years. Lessons, that is. But I've been playing drums since I was 8. I started piano, teaching myself piano sometime last summer, and I've been... You're making faces. There's faces making...
We're all staring at you.
You're making
Ian's
weird
making
faces.
faces, and I
It's throwing me off.
am by association making faces because I don't know what you're making faces about.
Why are you doing that?
Keep going.
Okay.
You're playing the piano?
Yeah, I started playing the piano last year. This is terrible. Okay. I started playing the piano last year, taught myself. I'm better now. I took some lessons for about 6 months.
Wait, you only started last year?
Yeah.
What? You're so good.
Really?
Yes.
Have you seen him play piano?
I've heard you play, yeah.
I never heard you play. Actually, anything.
I can
I've heard you
play. I
sing
can maybe
last
play
Hey,
something a little after
That's
this.
why you're...
It's coming up.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Next episode.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's
Episode
not.
2.
Hey,
The
I
Blaze.
have music
Yikes.
from you.
Yikes. Okay, moving on. I started working with Ableton, which is a digital audio
Nice.
workstation, a couple years ago, and so I've just been working on production. I've been getting into a lot of different kinds of music technology, different, all kinds of stuff like that. Beyond that, I listen to a lot of music. I don't know what else to talk about. I love music in general. Yeah, music is my favorite thing. It's what I want to pursue.
So, what's your favorite song?
Right now.
My favorite song.
Right now.
Right, yeah.
That's
right
really
now, right
that's
now.
really difficult because I'm kind of in between. If you'd asked me like 2 weeks ago, I would have said and I probably would still say "Causeway" by Zach Valier. That song just sounds cool, and whenever it came out, it's one of the few songs I've ever put on repeat because I couldn't find any song after it that, made me feel the same way after, made me like feel content.
Carry
So-
the vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I love that song.
If there's anyone in the music industry you could sit down and talk to for an hour.
It's between two things. It would have to be either one, just a studio assistant at a very famous studio that could give me all kinds of like weird stories about, like stories they have about artists. And I mean, I'm not talking about just like a modern, a present studio assistant. It could be from any point in time. Like I just would love to hear interesting stories about that. And then also, I'd probably like to talk to either Jeff Ellis or Melee. Melee. That's, I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name. No. Okay. No. I'm pretty sure it's Malay. He's worked a lot. He's most popularly worked with Frank Ocean on producing, and he has engineering credits as well. And Jeff Ellis has engineering credits on that album, as well as a lot of credits with a ton of popular indie music today. So I think it'd be really cool to talk to him because he made it. Both of those guys created a sound that has really affected me. So I'd like to meet those guys. That'd be cool to talk to them.
So you
Nice.
definitely want to talk to a producer, not an actual artist.
It's not just that. It's that like one of my favorite artists is probably my favorite artist, Frank Ocean. I could say I'd like to talk to him, or I could say I'd like to talk to Zach Valier or something. But But to me, I have a lot of fun looking into them on the internet and stuff. Not obsessing over them, but like finding out stuff about their history. I feel like I already know so much about them that I'd rather just talk to a lot of behind the scenes people who don't even you don't even realize how much they put into making the sound of an artist.
For me, I feel like when we talk about that's kind of the reason like I wanted the question to be person in the music industry, because I was also torn between that, like whether I should do a producer or, or not be, but talk to a producer or, like a studio assistant or something, or even like a studio instrumentalist who their job is just to be backing
really
vocals
cool.
or backing guitar on like all the famous tracks, because I feel like whenever we talk about like talking to your favorite musician, I almost am afraid to, because I don't want the image I've built of them in my head.
It's very true.
To be like
I resonate with
destroyed,
that.
Yeah. I want them to be how I
It's like when good
think
books
of them.
have one picture in the
Yes.
middle and it just ruins
Ruins it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So, or you build something of like an artist or an author or an actor, and then you see like one interview and you're like,
Oh.
what? No.
Yeah, it completely changes
So.
your perspective.
Yeah. But Harrison.
And ruins mystique.
Yeah,
Harrison.
so
Go ahead.
Harrison.
Musical background. So I played the piano since I was 5, and I've played the ukulele now for about a year.
Cool.
Nice.
That's a lot of fun.
We should start a band. Piano, ukulele, and
Brilliant.
guitar.
Piano, ukulele.
I'll sing.
I'll also do drums. That's cool.
Yeah.
No.
We were all
No, you got cello.
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 Banjo.
I have not had
Banjo
either of the
cello.
double
Double
instruments in a
bass.
long
Double
time.
bass, yeah.
We do have one of those, but no.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
That'd be
That's cool.
so
No,
I started just like plucking along. Okay, I'm not gonna talk about Harrison.
Yes.
Go ahead.
So those are the instruments I play, and I attempt to write songs. I don't know that I've ever completed a finished song that's serviceable, but I've come up with melodies in my head before and tried to remember them. That's my musical background. Music I listen to.
Don't you play, I feel like you played in some church band. Like, did you ever do anything like that?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I was in honors choir.
Oh, cool.
We all were, weren't we?
Yeah, we
Yes.
Oh, I forgot we did that. Oh, yeah. Honors
were.
choir.
And then we had economics
there?
and then
Common.
COVID
Was I?
and
Oh.
Which part? Wait. Was it junior year?
No, it was
would have
10th
been
grade
sophomore.
for
Tenth grade.
us.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
because... Okay, yeah.
The music I listen to, basically 3 kinds. So I discovered non-Christian music when I was maybe 12 or 13, which was fine for me.
Slow
My parents didn't make me listen to Christian music,
Yes.
but it's all what I listen to. And Christian music used to be good. It's not good anymore.
It
but
really isn't that great anymore.
It used to be not only good but popular.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Like
Okay, that's not fair, though.
89.3.
What about, like... I feel like there's some... very recently, there's been some very popular mainstream Christian music, like Lauren Daigle. Even some, like, Hillsong and Bethel music has...
there
Are
is
you
still
Lauren
good Christian
Daigle?
music.
I mean, she's kind of fallen off
Lauren
from
Bacall.
being, quote unquote, a Christian
I love
artist.
Lauren Bacall.
Yeah.
She doesn't
I mean-
even call herself that anymore. I don't think.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like... I don't know what, like, span of time you're talking. I do think there is Christian music that is popular.
There
I think it's
has
a
been.
different genre of Christian music, almost, that's popular now.
Yes, there is. I mean, worship music has definitely become more popular.
Yeah.
And I'm not a big fan of that. I get that it's good for singing in a congregation. The problem is you can't get too creative with it because you have to make sure that people can sing it. You can't make the melodies too crazy or the lyrics too crazy. So that's one of the reasons why it's not as good. I also think that I also just don't like it for other reasons. But yes, that is what's become more popular.
Yeah.
But I don't see that, charting on Billboard. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it does chart on Billboard. But, 2013, Toby Mac's album, Ion it debuted at number 1.
That dude.
It debuted at number 1.
killed it.
Not like number 1 Christian
Yeah, but
albums, all
It
albums.
was number 1.
people
I didn't know that.
people bumped like Toby Mac to feel better about themselves because he was like the middleman between like having some aspects of
See,
secular music, but also sort of.
I
like,
went to a Toby Mac concert maybe when I was like 12 or something, in one of the, like some stadium or Barry Center or something. I don't know. all I remember I remember nothing from that concert except he was wearing these monochrome red shoes. And I thought he looked like the Ronald McDonald clown. I was like, this dude has no style. And he was wearing like a fedora. And I was like,
he does that often, doesn't he?
How do we think he's cool? Like, why are we all agreeing on this right now? Like, but Toby Mac, I mean, I feel like a large part of my childhood was him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I still hear a Toby Mac song and I'm like, oh yeah, this is good.
Here we go. But Harrison, you never told us what your favorite song is right now.
My favorite...
Harrison.
Well, I never even finished
on,
the first
Harrison.
question either. I probably should say something besides Christian music. 'Cause
yeah.
I also listen to EDM, not as much this year, but I do still like it. And a lot of bands that people at TCS have gotten me into, like Mumford & Sons and Colony House.
Do you listen to Half Alive?
Some, yeah. I've listened to all their stuff. I don't listen to them much, but I've listened to them.
Yeah, they're good. I like them.
Need to Breathe, Switchfoot, 21 Pilots is really... TCS got me into that. My favorite song right now, I think at the top of my on repeat playlist on Spotify is the song Solomon's Ashes by Need to Breathe. It's very good.
Cool.
And if there's anyone in the music industry I could talk to for an hour, it would probably just be one of my favorite artists. So I guess Bear or Bo Reinhardt, who have basically written all the Need to Breathe songs. I definitely would have some questions about the inspirations for some of their earlier albums, like The Reckoning and The Heat. I really like those albums, and I just have some questions about what inspired them, some of the meanings of some of the songs.
Want to like?
Are there? I know
Is it
Eli
Mike?
Walla. So Mike claims to listen to Tristan. He does listen to Tristan. He's listened to who is my favorite EDM artist by far.
Okay.
Yeah, he does. Not as much as I do, though. I don't think.
Okay, never mind. Wait, so anyway, I have so many questions about that,
And Eli Walla too.
and I need like. So I think we should do EDM. I feel like it's a lesser known
some
but
point.
very popular genre.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Well, it's become increasingly popular too with people like Marshmello and
Yeah,
Alan
that's
Walker.
Yeah, it's kind of like
I love-
mixing a lyrical element. What hand signs going down here? I'm really
Hand
trying to
signs.
understand.
Hand signs. I should have clarified our hand signs before. We need to like move on.
Ooh, how
So
much time do we
yeah,
have?
we
we
How
have-
much?
We're at
Oh.
23 minutes.
Okay, we can do that.
So,
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah. Okay.
What were you saying about lyrical?
I mean, it's just,
Element?
you know, a lot of EDM producers started working with, you know, very popular like pop
Oh, yeah.
music artists, and that kind of blended
Yeah.
the two worlds and made it easier for people to listen to it and you know become acclimated to its existence.
I think that's really good because I think EDM is starting to maybe have some better lyrics and actually starting to have lyrics. Back in the day, it didn't have as many lyrics, I don't think.
Yeah, it was
And the lyrics, if they did have them, were extremely shallow.
very weak, and there's maybe like 3 words repeated
Yeah,
throughout the whole
exactly.
entire song.
That's really a thing that happened.
Yep.
Anyway, we do want to hear y'all's ideas for the podcast. You can email them to one of the emails that is on gmail.com. Which,
One of them. Just pick a random
Yeah.
one.
Yep.
Type in some words that you think might relate to this podcast.
It'll automatically be sent to
Yeah,
us.
I mean, we've got all of
That's how it
them.
works.
So
it's the Blazes podcast at gmail.com. Is that
yeah,
it?
the Blazes. The Blazes.
With a Z, not
Blazes.
yes,
The
not
Blazes
Blaze Pascal,
podcast.
but the
Blazes.
fire tests gold kind of Blazes.
The Blazes.
I just realized that's connection. That's a great connection. I didn't even make that
worked,
connection
it did.
before. I was just making a connection to Blaze Pascal.
The whole time.
We talked
The
about that
fire.
at dinner and everything.
The fire, okay.
The fire.
So email
Anyway.
us with topics that you want to see, and seriously, if you want to be on the podcast, we want people to come on it.
Yeah. We do have like a limited number of podcasts, so it is a little bit like we can't have everyone
It's very exclusive.
that we want to. It's not exclusive. It's just
Very exclusive.
we need like
There's a
it might
There's
be
an
like
application
yes, we want
fee.
you to do it, but just it might take a few months or something. So
No, but definitely come
There's
talk to one of
auditions.
us.
there's an
or
application
There's a
fee. There's an
panel.
interview.
we have red
Yeah.
buzzers.
We need resumes. Yeah.
Golden confetti.
yes.
It'd be a
golden
good problem
tickets.
to have, though. Too many people who want,
for
to,
sure.
want to do it.
It's like Pascal Music Down all over again.
Yeah. And if we end up having a bunch of people, we'll probably just try to add episodes. So
Yeah.
we can do
You can
that.
squeeze them in there.
For sure.
So, just something that I really feel the need to mention is the fact that we understand that there's kind of a weird energy with this. 'Cause we've never really pulled off I've done one podcast. I think
I have listened to podcasts before.
Y'all done podcasts, but
like
once.
5.
And it's just a whole different thing. It's a thing you have to get used
This
to.
is not going to be a vibe that you normally get with your podcasts.
I feel like we're definitely going to get way more
It's
comfortable
new.
with this. I'm just not
It's
used
a
to
TCS
it.
vibe, though.
Trinity
It's-
specific.
Yeah.
It's the conversations that we have.
Our goal is to bring you. I don't know if we're interesting enough people to have done this episode on this topic. Y'all are probably like, this is so boring. But our goal is to bring you good conversations about important things.
And eventually we're going to get there with the
Yeah.
good
Yeah,
conversations.
it's gonna work.
This is
The,
a
new,
new
content.
new music, introduce you to some songwriters in our community, and some thoughts you haven't thought.
Introduce you to new genres.
That's
New
TCS
genres,
model
yeah.
right
Something that
there.
you would not have maybe thought to listen to before, didn't know where to start with. Hopefully
Yeah.
we'll be able to show you how to, jump into
There's a
different
lot of
types
cool
of music.
knowledge going around in this
Yeah.
room that just
There's some cool knowledge. It hasn't
Cool.
come out yet, but it's there.
It'll be found. It'll be dug
It will
out,
reveal itself.
Oh, look, we got mail.
This is what I'm talking about. If you feel cringe,
We've got
if
mail.
you at any point in this podcast have felt cringe, absolute cringe, I apologize.
It's kind of an ASMR vibe. It's kind of like we might be.
It's rough.
We might have corona. No, we don't.
Ian, do you want to
Promise
read
we
this a
don't.
poem to close us
The
out?
surrealist poem?
It's a realist.
I don't think.
Can
do we want to
save that
just?
for our next segment?
We should probably
in the
save
next-
that.
Okay.
That would,
Y'all
that would be
stay.
good.
You guys need to stay tuned because in our next part of this episode, Ian is going. We're gonna have some.
We're gonna
really
do typing
funky
lessons with Mr.
segments.
Anderson's surrealist poetry.
Yes.
So
We're gonna do some.
Oh, there's a.
Oh, just get excited.
There's
we have
a-
a
yeah,
lot planned.
if you don't know how to
So
type yet, we're gonna work on
Fix
that.
your
Yes.
artificial excitement. There's gonna be a lot going on.
Fix it to genuine
Fix it.
excitement. If you were
Just-
faking it
just-
until now.
Just, you
Anyway.
know, the next one's gonna be better, and then the next one after that's gonna
This
be
one's
better.
amazing. I love this one already.
That's arguable.
It's
We can
very
argue
good
about
to
that
me.
in the next one.
Anyway, thanks for listening.
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's cool.
Should we do the Trinity content outro?
What?
is that?
What's the
Where y'all just
content
go in a
outro?
circle, like a huddle for your team, and you just go content.
Content.
I
Wait,
think
what?
we're gonna let
No,
that
we
be
don't.
their
We
thing.
don't. We don't need
Okay.
to do that because quality content is a given. Like it's just here. We just have
It's
it.
just in
I
the air
believe in us.
tonight.
Ian,
Yeah.
you're looking at me suspiciously. It's okay.
I'm skeptical, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. So, thank you guys for tuning in this week.
Yeah.
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 We
This
will
is
come back
The Blazes.
soon.
Yeah,
Cue
that's the
intro
stuff.
music.
That is the stuff.
Or
That's
outro.
it right there.
Doo-doo-doo.
That's the end.
The
Right
Loving it.
there.